In this video, we are going to explore the difference between adverbs and adjectives. Have you ever written a sentence and suddenly paused for a second? You stare at the screen, you look at two words, quickly. Then your brain says, wait a minute, which one am I supposed to use? Should I say, she is a quick learner? She is a quickly learner? Should I say, he runs quick? Or he runs quickly? And suddenly, what seemed like a simple sentence turns into a grammar mystery? And here's the exciting part. By the end of this lesson, you won't need to memorize dozens of grammar rules. Instead, you will learn one powerful way of thinking that makes adjectives and adverbs incredibly easy to understand and identify. Okay, because most students they don't struggle with adjectives and adverbs because the topic is difficult. They struggle because nobody explains what these words actually do inside a sentence. So let's change that today. Okay? Imagine you are a detective. Every time you see a descriptive word, you ask yourself one question. Who is this word talking about? That's it. That's the secret. If the word is describing a noun, it's usually an adjective. If the word describing an action, it's usually an adverb. Let's see this in action. Okay? For example, the fast car won the race. Now you have to ask yourself, who was fast talking about? The car. And what is car? A noun. Therefore, fast is adjectives because it describes a noun. Correct? And another one, the car moved fast. Now, again, you have to ask who is fast talking about? Not the car. It's talking about how the car moved. So, moved is an action. Therefore, fast is an adverb. Interesting, isn't it? The same word can sometimes perform different jobs. That's why understanding function is more important than memorizing list. Okay? Now imagine a painter standing beside a plain white object. The painter adds color, adds detail, adds personality. Suddenly, the object becomes interesting. That's exactly what adjectives do. They paint nouns. Without adjectives, the house, the dog, the teacher, the book, everything feels plain, isn't it? Now, watch what happens. The enormous house, the energetic dog, the inspiring teacher, the fascinating book, the nouns suddenly become more vivid, right? And adjectives help readers visualize. So they make nouns come alive. Now, look at this sentence, okay? The intelligent students solve the difficult problem. How many adjectives you can find? Take a second. Now, did you find them? The answer is intelligent and difficult because intelligent describes the student and difficult describes the problem. Both words are painting nouns, therefore, both are adjectives. Now, let's meet the adverb. If adjectives are painters, adverbs are directors. A movie director tells actors how to perform, speak louder, walk slowly, smile confidently, run quickly. Adverbs do the same thing. They tell actions how to happen. Okay? Example, the athlete ran quickly. So, what is the action here? Ran. How did the athlete run? Quickly. Therefore, quickly is an adverb. Another example, the baby slept peacefully. So, here, what is the action? Slept. And how did the baby sleep? Peacefully. Therefore, peacefully is an adverb. So, whenever you suspect a word might be an adverb, then you have to ask yourself how, when, where, and to what extent. Let's see that. Example, she answered confidently. How did she answer? Confidently. So that's an adverb. They arrived yesterday. So when did they arrive? Yesterday. Again, adverb. The children played outside. Where did they play? Outside. Again, it's an adverb. The movie was extremely interesting. To what extent was it interesting? Extremely. So, extremely is an adverb. Now let's talk about the mistake that causes problems for thousands of learners. Look carefully. Sentence 1. She is a beautiful singer. Here, beautiful describes singer, right? Singer is a noun. Therefore, beautiful is an adjective. That's correct. She sings beautifully. Here, beautifully describes sings, how she sings, right? So here, sings is a verb, and therefore, here, beautifully is an adverb. Got it? Now you can notice what changed, right? Not the meaning, not the person, only the job. And when the job changes, the word form changes too. Okay? Let's transform adjectives into adverbs. Now here, careful becomes carefully. Slow becomes slowly. Quiet becomes quietly. Happy becomes happily. Efficient becomes efficiently. Easy, right? But now let's look at some tricky ones. I call it as a tricksters. Some adverbs don't end in ly. These are the troublemakers. Now you can look at the sentence. He works hard. Many students think hard is an adjective, but not here. You have to ask the question, how does he work? Hard. So therefore hard is functioning as an adverb here, right? Another example, the train arrived early. So when did it arrive? Early. So here early is an adverb, even though there is no ly. Okay? Now some words can both be adjective and adverbs. Okay? You have to watch this carefully. Let me read it for you. So the same one, the previous example, right? The fast train arrived. Now, some words can both be adjectives and adverbs. Watch carefully. The first sentence, the fast train arrived. So here, fast describes the train, adjective. The second one, the train moved fast. So here the fast describes moved. So again, this one is an adverb. Same spelling, different job and different role. Let's analyze a real paragraph. So here, if you want, you can just pause the video and you can go through this. Let me read it for you. The talented musician performed brilliantly during the concert. The audience listened attentively and responded enthusiastically to every song. His powerful voice and remarkable stage presence created an unforgettable experience for everyone in attendance. Now, let's identify everything. The first one, talented, it's an adjective because it describes musician, right? And the second one, brilliantly. So brilliantly here, it's an adverb because it describes how he performed, right? So brilliantly is an adverb. Now the next one is attentively. Attentively here, this describes listened, right? The verb listen. So it's an adverb. Enthusiastically. So here, this again describes the verb responded, right? So enthusiastically is an adverb. Powerful. Powerful describes his voice, his powerful voice. So again, adjective. Remarkable. Remarkable is what? Remarkable stage presence. Again, adjective. Unforgettable. Unforgettable experience, right? So it's an adjective. This describes an experience. So notice something interesting here. The adjectives describe people, things, and qualities. The adverbs describes only the actions. That's the pattern. Okay, that's the secret. So if you remember only one thing from today's lesson, remember this. Adjectives describe things. Adverbs describe actions. When you're confused, don't look at the word. Look at its job and you have to ask yourself, who is this word talking about? Okay? If it's talking about a noun, it's probably an adjective. If it's talking about an action, it's probably an adverb. Grammar becomes much easier when you stop memorizing labels and start understanding jobs. Okay? That's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more English tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.